Well, just about wood cutting season. Time to get the log splitter tuned up. So went up, took a look, and brought the camera with me and show you what I found.
Oh, Piper, how you doing? Oh, you wet. You been down the pond. That burn, girl. Yeah. It's a good doggy right there. All right, go on. Get. Go on. Go on. Get. So, let me introduce you to FrankenSplitter. Okay? FrankenSplitter is an achievement of my neighbors. And I had a hand in it too, okay? So this splitter, Mike, how old is this thing?
Built in '89.
About 1989, okay. And by built, what do you mean?
Well, it originally started out as a 3-point addition for a tractor, which is still intact.
Now you got the 3-point attachment, okay? Yeah.
The cylinder came off of a D3 dozer, bucket loader, and the beam came from the same place. I had an uncle that owned an excavating company in Joplin, and I told him what I wanted to do, and he gave me this beam and the cylinder.
Okay.
And at the time I was working part-time for Ed Ritter, and he had the base plate, which is 2 inches thick by 24 inches there. So he helped me put all this, weld all this together, and I had the 3-point attachment off of something that I bought at a junk sale. So we put it together and welded it together, and I used it for 2 years as a 3-point, and
Using the PTO pump on the tractor to
Right.
power it?
right.
Okay.
And then I was a friend of mine was telling him how heavy it was and how much of a pain it was, and to take off the tractor because it's so heavy. So Ronnie Miller and I went to his house, and the frame for the cart was he already had made because he used it as a trash cart at his house. And originally the axle was 18 inches further forward, and
Okay.
I used it as a bale wagon too when I first got it, and I took the splitter off of it,
Uh-huh.
and then I'd use put a
But at that time it didn't have this unit on it.
right.
Okay.
So it was all done with the one valve here.
Uh-huh.
So when after we got to using it, and then I didn't need to use the bale spear on it anymore, I cut the axles loose and moved them back because it made the splitter more stable.
Okay.
And then as it started out with a 5-horse motor on it. We went through 2 of those, full start, and then I got the idea of putting a bigger motor on it and electric start. So I bought a used Murray mower and took the starting unit, the battery holder,
The dashboard here
yeah, the dashboard,
with the fuel tank and ignition, okay.
and then mounted the motor
Uh-huh.
and made electric start out of it.
Okay, and that changed it from a horizontal drive to a vertical drive?
No,
It always was vertical? Okay.
So,
Okay, and then this frame was originally made from storage racks?
right, pallet racking,
Uh-huh.
and the original way to tilt it was done with a winch, and it went on the front here, and we to get it to go up, you'd sit there and winch it,
Cable winch?
cable winch,
Uh-huh.
yes, to pull the bottom down, and it would set it up.
There's a hole up here where the shackle used to hook on.
So when you got ready to bring it down, it had another cable system on it that hooked to the wedge right here was, and it went, and you push the wedge down, and it brought the, have another, you got still have the pulley system up here for it, and it would bring it down, and you just bring it till the cable got a hold of it again, and then you could let it down slowly with the cable.
Because once it goes over center, the cylinder's at the top,
Yeah.
and the plunger inside the cylinder, so all the weight is now at the top of this, and once you get it over center, it tends to just drop.
Yeah. There
Yeah.
was no problem with getting it over.
Mm-hmm.
It's just getting it to tilt.
Do you know where the axle came from?
No, I do not.
Okay.
It was with the cart when he built the cart.
Has to be a rear end from a truck with those size wheels and those brakes, don't you think? Cast iron like that? Or do you think they're a front end that's just been welded on there?
I think it was a drop down axle off of a trailer
Ah.
is
Okay.
what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Then, you know, you got more involved with it, and we decided that we could eliminate the cable system by putting a hydraulic cess on the 3-point,
Uh-huh.
and we started, you know, engineering how it would work, and now we have it where you can tilt it with the valve. The secondary valve will make it go down and up, which makes it a lot more handier. We now have still can run it with this control, but you can also turn there's a separate valve that changes the flow, and it comes to this valve
Bypasses and
and then,
comes through this one first.
yeah,
Yeah.
so then it becomes where you can tilt it a lot easier.
Okay. And let's see.
And the tank was a grain tube off of an elevator system is what the tank, and we just plugged it up and put an air vent on the top, or air vent and fill tube,
Mm-hmm.
and so it holds right at about 4.5 gallon, I believe, is what it holds.
Well, does it run? We'll start it up, see if she runs. Oh yeah. white oak. Diameter, and it's unseasoned white oak. It's a little charred on the outside. Had a little leaf fire that got over into the pile. We haven't cut up any of this other wood here to split yet. So we're just those are the throwaways that we have in the pile over there. Go ahead and show them how that actuator works on the lift. Okay, that wood there's got ants in it, or it's scorched burnt. This here, that's a white oak log. Looks to be about, well, let's see. Comes up to here on me, so that makes it probably 2.5 foot. That's at the butt end. But it only loses, I don't know, maybe 6 inches of height down there on that end. Another one here. That's another white oak. That's a white oak in there. There's one there. Did you notice we got some weeds? Well, those we're probably not going to do much with. These up in here, I'm not going to do anything with them because it's still copperhead season. Okay. Another big chunks. This one here got poison ivy wrapped around the outside of it. Might not do anything with it till long sleeve weather. Okay. More white oak. These are all just off-fall chunks. of wood. Okay, just odds and ends of big wood we got to work up. Usually do that when we have 2 of us, and then we can use the tractor bucket to move it. So that's why I'm going to move the splitter down here, because after we get past all of those big chunks, we got a call last winter, and a fella says, "Do you want some logs?" We said, yeah, we can use some logs. So he said, "Come and get them." So underneath this pile is some logs about 2 foot diameter that run the entire length of this pile. And what's piled on top is more logs between 2 foot and 2.5 foot in diameter. This, just for reference, okay? This baby right here is probably 20 feet long. This one here, 25 feet long. Okay. Oh, another big chunk. Oh, that's an agri oak. Garden spider. Okay. Everything we've seen so far has been either red or white oak. Okay. This, hackberry. There's ash, hackberry, cherry, honey locust, hackberry, honey locust, hackberry. Aside from these odds and ends of down here on this end, everything else up along there is red oak or white oak. And like I said, there's 2 layers. There's a bottom layer and a top layer. So I'm thinking, you correct me if you think I'm wrong, but I'm thinking it's probably going to take most of a day or 2 to get all this cleaned up.
This old splitter, she ain't a lot to look at, but she's real reliable. She's got all the power we need, and frankly, we've grown rather fond of her. If you have the time, I'd really appreciate it if you'd leave a comment and poke that like button.